Good morning, I'm Keely Sullivan with Elections Unpeeled. We're joined here today by actor Stephen Baldwin, one of the Baldwin brothers, and also two-time contestant on Celebrity Apprentice. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's fun to be here.
So I just want to get your first thoughts of the RNC so far. So we just finished day one, jumping into day two. What are you feeling right now?
I'm excited. I think last night and the first day was amazing. They're already talking about is this convention going to be the showman kind of thing, and is it going to be over the top? I think it's been that so far, and I think it's going to continue to be something that's exciting because that's what Mr. Trump has been doing quite often, is getting people pumped up about what we're doing here.
Well, definitely. I mean, it's aside from the politics, it is exciting in the way that there's a lot of flair. There's a lot of excitement going on. I mean, you saw Donald Trump's entrance last night. We are the champions, right? Silhouetted in black.
Yep. My friend Don Lemon over at CNN was interviewing me last night. He said, well, what did you think of that Trump entrance? I said, Don, were you surprised? It's Mr. Trump. You think he's just going to wander in quietly?
Now, you were fired twice on Celebrity Apprentice, but you were one of the early public people to endorse Trump. Can we just talk about that and why you thought that he was the commander-in-chief to be so early on?
Well, a week before the first Republican debate, again, Don Lemon interviewed me, and he said, well, what do you think of Mr. Trump? You like him? I said, well, from my experience with him, I love him. I think he's a great guy. He's pretty regular Joe, and he's got his feet on the ground, very down to earth for a billionaire. And then he said, do you think he'd make a good president? I said, no, Don, I think he'd make a great president because he's not a politician. Part of what's broken in our system here is a lot of career politicians or people who aspire to get into it, they think one thing and then they get there and they realize, well, the system is what it is, you can't change it. Oh, well, I just have to work within that system. Mr. Trump doesn't believe that. Mr. Trump believes that there's a way to shake it up, fix it, really do what is necessary to create the changes that he thinks are in the best interest of the country, and that's why you see so many voters right now rallying around him. He won 60% of New York State. They said he was never going to get the nomination. He did. I think there is a huge number of people, because we're so divided, they're not going to say publicly what they're thinking, but they're going to show up in the voting booth, and I think he's going to be the next president.
And now, Mr. Baldwin, you're also known for your strong religious views, for your Christian values. And I just kind of wanted to talk about Mike Pence, because he is also known for the same thing. And I guess I wanted to talk about how you feel that Pence is going to add to the Trump platform.
Many people have questioned the level of intellect of Donald Trump for whatever reason. I don't think you make a couple of $2, $3, $4 billion because you're not smart. But even if let's say that was the case, if you don't know something, surround yourself with the people who do. That's a smart decision to help you achieve whatever goal, and that's what we see Mr. Trump doing right now with this opportunity. Governor Pence is a brilliant step in that direction. Nobody was anticipating that. Again, in true Trump fashion, everybody was making all these guesses about these other choices, and he stepped up with Governor Pence, who is a solid guy. He's very successful in what he's done as governor, and I think he's going to create a balance for Mr. Trump that is going to, again, help him make the right decisions and move the country forward.
And do you believe personally that just Trump as a standalone candidate lines up with your Christian values?
I do, actually. Mr. Trump is a great way to gauge an individual, a mom or a dad, a husband or a wife, is their kids. It's not that Mr. Trump is paying his kids enough money for them to, do this, do that. They're a very solid, down-to-earth, happy, closely loving family. And you really don't get to see that unless you're behind the scenes, which I've been. So I think that's very commendable, and I think, again, that is going to lend to Mr. Trump's sensibility as president. He has made the statement that he's a Christian, and that's something that's very private and personal to him. You see the evangelicals in this country rallying behind him right now. I think he's a man of faith. He's a man about family, and I think he's going to make a great president.
And I just want to talk about Mr. Trump personally with you. Being a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice, what were some of the qualities that you saw in Trump and working with him that you think will be an asset in the going forward in the general election?
Again, a couple of weeks back, you heard Mr. Trump say, well, when the timing's right, you'll see me acting very presidential. I think he has come out swinging. He's rattled the cage. He said some things not the right way when it first came out of his mouth, but what I find fascinating is, boy, it sure has got everybody talking about it. It sure has got people coming out that want to be involved now. So I think all of this is good. This process is what makes America great. And I just think he's really driving that reality right now where people want what's best for themselves and their families and the country, and I think Mr. Trump is representing in a very resounding way that energy going forward.
All right, and that is Stephen Baldwin, actor, one of the Baldwin brothers, and a two-time contestant on Celebrity Apprentice. Mr. Baldwin, just want to thank you for your time with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.